Hey everyone, it's Adam from A&C Travel. I'd like to welcome you to my abode here in Maryland. This is my little space where all the magic happens. I wanted to invite you to listen to my review of the MSC Seaside uh, I took on May 21st of this past year. This was a first for me in a couple of ways. This was a first time for me traveling with MSC. This was my first solo cruise, and the first time out of leaving out of Port Canaveral. So it was a bunch of firsts, and everything was pretty good. So we'll start with the embarkation process. So it went pretty smooth. I got to the port a bit early, so I had to wait. But parking opens up at 10 a.m. They start lining you up around 9:15, 9:30. You get in, you park, and then you walk over to the area where you could drop your luggage off, and then you go and wait in your assigned line. When they tell you that your time is at 11 a.m., they mean 11 a.m. That's what time we started moving in. And going through the terminal was very smooth. Went through security very easily, and went through the check-in process very easily. So they give you a check-in number, a group number. However, when I travel, especially lately, I always walk with a cane, but lately I've been using my post-surgical back brace for additional support. It helps me when I travel. So when I was going to sit down, one of a lovely lady who worked at the terminal told me that I would get special boarding because I was needed special assistance to get on board. And I told her I did not have that ticket or pass to get on, and she said, "No worry, your cane is your pass." So for those out there who are like me, don't use a wheelchair because you're stubborn and you want some semblance of your free will. Um, know that they will accommodate you. Um, so that was very nice and good way to start the cruise. So I got on board, and we had to wait a little while until our rooms were ready, of course, but it gave me time to go around and search some places out, figure where I want to be, figure where I need to be, um, and then just to know the Seaside is a very big ship, so it took some time. I was getting lost until the day I left, and I was not the only one. That seemed to be a running theme with other passengers as well. Um, but it was a big ship, but it's a beautiful ship. Um, Design wise, they could have made things easier to navigate. There, like on the upper decks, you kind of have to go down and then across and then back up. And then if you want to go somewhere else, you got to go back down a few floors and then go across and then back up. So that was a little challenging, not just for me, but for most people. Um, but overall, the vibe on the ship was good. All the staff uh, and crew were fantastic. Everyone, you never saw someone slacking off or just hanging out. Everyone was working really hard on board to make sure the ship was clean. The bartenders were busting butt behind the bars, making sure everybody had their drinks. You could tell they were a bit short-staffed, and uh, the ship was at full capacity. So, kudos to those bartenders because they worked their butts off. And just the customer service staff as well. I want to give a shout out to my room steward, Alfredo. He was great. Seeing that I was a solo traveler and also handicapped, he made sure to keep an eye on me, made sure that the room was taken care of. I had a little bit of an issue with the door lock, and that was immediately taken care of with him. Um, Great guy. And I did not get off the boat in Nassau because Carol and I were in Nassau in December. However, the new port in Nassau is open and it looked really beautiful from the boat. I just didn't feel like walking around. So I stayed on the boat and enjoyed the what the ship had to offer, hanging out by the pools. They do have a little fun center. However, it's not as big as I thought it would be. They only had like two arcade games, the two-lane bowling alley. They had the little F1 simulator. They have what they call a 4D movie theater. It's like an interactive video game. You get like blasters and shoot zombies, and they have the zip line up top. They also have like ping pong tables and stuff like that around for the in the kids areas on deck 15. However, I tried to stay away from areas where there were a lot of children because I'm not a big fan of children. Other than that, let's see. Ocean Cay was beautiful. The water is crystal clear. I will link below the video of my little adventure on the beach. Just to say, water was like a bathtub. It was beautiful. And I got to see a lot of fish. I did have one issue with an excursion. While one of the excursions I had booked was to go around the island on a 2 hours, the Bay Breeze tour. At the excursion desk, when I would go and ask questions, the person who was working there, I'm not going to name names, but the person who was working there basically did not want to work. So he waited to the last minute to do everything. Um, you know, being handicapped, being uncomfortable, standing around for 45 minutes is not something that is helpful for me. So when I told them I didn't feel safe or feel like I'd be able to go on the excursion, I got lip basically of why did you book the excursion? And that's not something you want to tell someone who's not feeling well. So I went back to the ship, went to customer service, and then went to the excursion desk where I met a lovely lady, Ayako, who basically took care of the issue. She, apologized profusely for her colleagues' poor attitude and made sure to put through a refund for the excursion for me, and also as a token of MSC's gratitude for me being there, I guess, and just an apology for their employees' poor performance. I had a bottle of prosecco sent to my room, which was very kind. So I enjoyed that. Um, the food on board, I went to the main dining room twice. Couple of reasons. One, I had asked for early dining, so they have two early dining times. One is at 5:15, the other is at 7:30. I was assigned the 7:30 dining time, which is not early for me. So that was a big bummer. Um, the second one was the food itself. The first night, a couple of people ordered bolognese, and they instantly sent it back. The consensus was it was bland, it had no taste, and the pasta was like rubber. The second night was Italian night, and I could tell you that as an Italian line, they should probably teach their chefs to cook better Italian food. Um, I don't know how you screw up chicken parmesan, but they managed to. So the remainder of the cruise, I decided to eat at the buffet, which was a good call for a few reasons. One, that's where you get pizza, and it is some of the best pizza I've ever eaten. As a person who grew up and lived in New York for most of his life, that's a big statement. Uh, they make great pizza on board. They make their own mozzarella on board, so everything is really fresh. The bread also fantastic. I'm a big bread fan, so to get good bread for me is a good thing. And they had great stations all around. They had burger stations. They had a kids stations, chicken nuggets and things of that nature. They had different ethnic foods. They had a rotisserie section where they had chicken and they had a pork roast and a rib roast and things like that. And all of it was delicious. And oh, of course, the desserts as well. Um, I would recommend, though, however, to purchase a drink package. Um, I got the Easy Plus package with my cruise fare, and it was helpful because it allowed me to get um, drinks from the bar, and which not only alcoholic drinks but non-alcoholic drinks like bottles of water to bring back to the room. Um, I would get this fruit smoothie in the morning that was delicious, and then in the afternoon I asked them, could you add a little rum to it, and they did. Great. Um, just as a big warning, I didn't know this until it was too late. Uh, the you get a refrigerator in your room and it's stocked. However, they charge you for everything that you take out of the fridge, including the bottle of water. So that's why I say get the drink package. And this way you can just ask the bartenders for multiple, and they'll give you. So I would ask every time I got uh, any beverage from the bar, I would ask for 2 bottles of water to take back to the room. And they gave it to me with no issue whatsoever. Um, the one problem I think that was faced and I would say by the bartenders themselves, was that they were understaffed. Those guys were working their butts off, and the boat was at full capacity, so they had to work hard to make sure everybody got their drinks, and they did. Like I said, all the staff on board worked incredibly hard. Um, de-embarkation went smoothly as well. They give you group numbers based on your floor. However, if you're going to take your own luggage off, you can just leave once you get clearance from the port. So, on an overall basis, 2 thumbs up for MSC because they did right by me, I think. And Carol and I are already booked on the MSC World Europa for Thanksgiving. We'll be going out of Barcelona for a 7-night tour of the Med, and definitely looking forward to it. So this was sort of like, how does MSC work? Well, now I know how MSC works, and I'm happy with it. So that's my review. Like I said, 2 thumbs up. Um, Again, the everything was based on my experience. If you had a different experience or better experience, wonderful. If you had ran into any issues or your experience wasn't as good as mine, I'm sorry to hear that, first off. And secondly, I would love to hear about your experience. So please, add to the comments below. Whatever information you could provide will be helpful not only to myself, but to the community at large. So again, please subscribe to make sure you find out about any upcoming videos that A&T Travel will be putting out this summer and throughout the year. And hit that like button so the algorithm catches us and gets us, more subscribers and more likes and all that fun stuff. and I hope to see you soon in the next video. So take care, all. Bye.